Welcome to Midwest Microbrew. Today we're heading to Lockport, Illinois to sit down with Chad Lindahl, the head brewer at Nik Ivy Brewing Company. We're diving into their community-focused approach, the inspiration behind their unique brews, and what it's like running a craft staple in the Chicago suburbs. Let's get into the interview with Chad. Hey, Chad, thank you so much for joining us today on Midwest Microbrew. First, I thought I'd just start with having you introduce yourself and telling the audience what you do with Nik Ivy Brewing.
Yeah, my name's Chad Lindahl, the brewer at Nik Ivy Brewing. So it's pretty much just me there doing all the beer production from start to finish. We have some help in packaging, but outside of that, it's pretty much just me making things come to life.
Gotcha. Sounds like a busy
Yeah.
role. Um, so tell me the origin story of Nick and Ivy Brewing. What kind of inspired you to start there specifically?
So I got started there because the owner Paul and his wife Chrissy, they wanted to open a brewery and didn't have any background in brewing. Through some mutual friends, they got my name and contacted me. I brewed them a couple of beers. This was back in early 2020. And that was essentially my resume. And they put their faith in me to help them start up. And I was their original startup brewer.
Awesome.
And yeah, so kind of took off from there. I left for a little while, bounced around a couple other breweries, and then just kind of the way it worked out, they were looking for someone again, and I found myself back there. So
Awesome. Full circle.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What makes your location unique within like the Lockport scene?
So it's right in downtown Lockport, and what was really cool in the beginning was seeing just that downtown. It's a really historic downtown district.
Hmm.
Seeing that come back to life. It was when I first started there. There was a lot of like empty buildings and but things in the works, and it was really cool to see things come into life and the downtown really revitalizing itself. They've worked really hard in that area to restore a lot of buildings, and they have a nice restaurant scene, and our brewery along with another brewery right across the street, Tangled Roots. They've got a restaurant directly across the street from us, and it's nice having that as a destination for people to come.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm somewhat familiar with the area. I used to live close by to Aurora, so somewhat close to you guys.
Okay, yeah,
But yeah, I mean, it's a nice area. I like it. So
yeah.
that's awesome. How would you describe your brewery in one sentence to someone who's never been there before? If you had to just do one sentence, I guess you can extend
One
it.
sentence. It's kind of hard. I mean, uh, I would say it's we're one of the few more sport-centric breweries where we have quite a few TVs. Paul is a big sports fan, so it's a place you can always catch a game, which is not typically the case at lots of breweries.
Hmm.
So I'd say it's kind of that's a unique aspect of our space.
Awesome. Yeah, did you guys catch
Yeah.
that? Probably had the Bears game playing recently then.
Oh shoot, I don't have it with me. We just canned today a Bears theme that's called Good, Better, Best,
Oh,
and
really?
it has a silhouette of the infamous throw for the game. It came out really good, and there was a lot of excitement for it today. I actually got home early today because I had to run a couple deliveries, and
Oh, yeah.
it's gonna go quick. So
Yeah, I bet that's a
yeah,
big hit right now. That makes
we
sense.
kind of jumped on that. Just timing worked out, and we were able to make something happen for it. So everyone was pretty excited for that.
Absolutely. That makes sense. Um, so you probably get a lot of regulars, haven't been there for a while. What draws them there so consistently, you think?
I think it's the atmosphere. I'm there during the day most of the time. I'm
Mhm.
not typically there with the regulars, but It is that it's that has that like communal, like, neighborhood feel to it, that it's very comfortable environment. And then, like I said before, like you can always catch the game, whatever game's on, at any point in the year. Like we have quite a few TVs that have all the sports stuff on, and then it's just, we have just a handful of bartenders. A lot of them have been there for quite a while. Paul's there usually pretty often. So just kind of one of those, nice neighborhood spots for
Yeah.
people to go.
Oh, that makes sense. So you probably are you busier towards the evenings then? Is that probably the busiest time?
Yeah, yeah. We open at 3 o'clock during the week, so it's that, yeah, late afternoon, evening. It gets pretty busy day to day. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
And then kind of moving into some of like the family slash community questions. How family friendly is your space? Do you make like different
Uh,
accommodations for age groups and all that?
yeah, we uh, we're a brewery, so obviously we're selling a majority of beer. We also have some craft sodas available,
Oh,
and all of us being parents as well, like we get, kids come along to places, and we have games and toys and stuff for kids to play with. So we do try to make it a family friendly environment, especially with us all, having families ourselves. So
mhm.
it definitely has a more family friendly uh, feel to it, that but not the um, crazy. It's not a kids like daycare, what
Right,
I'm
yeah.
saying. Like it's it's definitely like you're comfortable having kids there, but it's typically not too much of a nuisance to the crowd that's not there for kids.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And then kind of getting into like community stuff, do you guys have any like events that you take part in or like seasonal aspects to your beer, stuff like that?
We Yeah, we do partner with a lot of the local schools, and we do a lot of fundraisers. I know there was
Oh,
one there
awesome.
last night for the PTA for one of the local schools, and so they'll sometimes they'll do like guest bartenders, and they do a donation. Usually they donate tips and stuff like that. But yeah, we do quite a few fundraisers with all the local sports teams, like the boosters and stuff like that.
Hmm.
We're really involved in that, and it's been a good win-win for everybody. It's a fun night out for the parents. We get to raise money um, for whatever their organization is. So we do quite a bit of that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Um, so you mentioned that you have did you have some food or is that a restaurant nearby or
So there are several restaurants nearby
gotcha.
that can, either depending, they can either run food over sometimes, or it's close by. We also offer pizzas from Candlelight Pizza. It's
Oh,
a
nice.
local company that makes pizzas, and then they freeze them, and so we just have a small pizza oven to toss them in, and heat them up. They're actually really good. So we've gotten to taste test the ones when they have new ones come in, that we'll throw one in and try it, and they're really good. So
Nice. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean that pairs well together.
yeah.
For sure. Do you guys have a policy on like large groups or private events? Uh, Anything like that?
Uh, we we do private events. We don't have a private event space, so but we can certainly, and we have done quite a few private events, whether it's uh, bridal showers. We recently did a wedding reception.
Oh wow.
So yeah, we are able to accommodate, and it depends on you know time and all that. But yeah, we certainly do lots of events. Um, we wish we could have an event space, but unfortunately we don't. But we work with what we have, and people seem to enjoy hosting their events there. So,
Absolutely. Awesome.
yeah.
All right, so now getting into the beer and brewing questions. So these will be some good questions
Yeah,
for
this
you.
is more where I'm more versed. So yeah.
Maybe a bit more of your space. So walk me through your core lineup. What styles do you always have available, and what makes them so popular, you think?
Yeah, so we have a few of our core beers. One of them, Dellwood IPA. So it's like this classic IPA that we try to have on all the time. It's become pretty popular, and it's just a kind of solid, old school IPA.
Hmm.
And uh, another one we have is 1853, and that's a vanilla cream ale. And that was when I first started. I put that one out, and then it evolved several times. It was like every time I brewed it, kind of took the feedback of what the customers were wanting, and it's really evolved into what it is. And it's there because it's popular. It's our number one selling beer.
Hmm.
And it is tasty. It's not necessarily the style of beer that I would go for, but people really enjoy it, and it's yeah, it's a very vanilla forward cream ale, but not by style cream ale. I mean, there's a little bit of lactose in there to sweeten it. It's
Oh,
more of like a cream soda esque uh, beer than an actual like traditional cream ale.
interesting.
But again, that was where it started as that an actual cream ale with some vanilla, and the feedback was sweeter and what people think the cream ale is, and that's more of like a um, they're thinking cream soda, so we leaned into that, and that's where it evolved into.
Huh, sounds tasty.
Yeah.
So what's your brewing philosophy? What kind of makes your decisions or helps drive your decisions when you're brewing?
Um, I, I mean, most of it is like process driven. I'm a big believer in like, um, great beer is made in the cellar, and it's your practices there. And it's not to get into too technical of all that, but
Yeah.
it is sticking to solid practices and being able to replicate what you do. So it's note taking, documenting everything you do, and just making sure to be diligent on the details,
Yeah.
because that's what separates beer, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds refined. It's a good way to refine it. Good,
Yeah.
good process for it. What's the most unique or like experimental type of beer that you've created?
I typically like to stick with not ultra traditional, because like I said, the,
Hmm.
the cream ale is far from traditional cream ale, but um, I I wouldn't call it experimental, because that slowly evolved into what it was or what it is. But probably I did a sour hazy IPA with apricots,
Oh,
and
interesting.
that one came out really nice. I think probably we'll probably brew it again. It's been quite a while since we put that one out, but if I did it again, I or if I could do it over again, really would maybe shift how it's described a little bit and not go sour hazy and just call it a sour ale, probably, just
Hmm.
because that gets confusing to people sometimes, or gets or they get scared off by that. But it was a solid beer that I was really happy with the results on.
Yeah. No, that's
Um,
good flavor for
so
beers. Yeah. Apricot. That sounds tasty.
yeah, it was good.
Um, are there any like seasonal or limited releases that people should be looking out for?
Yeah, so I mean, it's going to be here before we know it, but spring is certainly coming.
I hope
So
so.
one of our really popular beers is Lake Life. It's a blueberry wheat ale,
Hmm.
and we will that'll be coming before we know it. So it's definitely on our radar. It's not quite on the schedule yet, but it's we're already talking about it to get that going. And once we start brewing it, that one will be available all summer. That's probably one of our most popular seasonals.
Okay.
Just because, yeah, summer people are looking for it and they're
Yeah.
happy when it's there and sad when it's gone.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's what makes it a good seasonal.
yeah.
For someone new to the world of kind of craft beer, what would you recommend as an introduction if they were to try one at your brewery?
So that 1853, the vanilla cream ale, I think is a pretty easy intro into craft beer because there are flavors there, but it's a very familiar. The vanilla is very forward in it, and we also have we usually have a light lager of some sort or just a easy drinking lager on tap. We try to always have at least one on,
Hmm.
and so that's usually a good one to start with. And honestly, a lot of the beers that I brew, that kind of goes back to the philosophy thing, is making it approachable to
Yeah.
people, and not keeping things balanced and definitely drinkable and approachable for almost anyone. We're brewing beer to sell it, so
Hmm.
that's the goal, is
Yeah.
to make something people want to drink and people like. It may not be the thing that I'm always going for, but it's what our customers are, and that's what we're here to do, is sell beer to customers. So
It always
try to
helps when they
listen to
like it.
that. Yeah. So um,
Yeah. Great. What's something about your brewery that most visitors should know, but maybe don't before they come there for the first time?
um, that's a tough one. I
Yeah,
don't.
it's kind of,
But
or
I mean,
maybe just like a lesser known fun fact about the brewery.
um, yeah. I mean, when you walk in, like the brewery, the whole setup, everything we do is right there in the middle, literally in the middle of the brewery.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So I mean, it's obviously like when you walk in and you see the tanks and everything, but it's like we do everything in there. The canning lines in there, and everything. Like we have stools around with bar top. You can literally sit there right, with the fermenter right there, and actually one of them, the sample port, kind of sticks out over the bar. But it's a tight space, but we make it work. But um, yeah, that everything's done right there. We typically have like a cider option or like a mead option as well on tap.
Mhm.
But outside of that, all the beer is produced right there, right in the tap room where you're sitting. So
Oh, that's really cool.
yeah,
Yeah, that's always like a fun little thing to look at when well not yeah, yeah. That I mean that's really cool to see when you're actually there.
yeah. So
So how would you describe the Lockport craft beer scene?
I think it's pretty strong. Like I said, we have a good restaurant scene, and there's a good craft beer scene affiliated with the restaurants
Mhm.
within that. And then we also have a bottle shop not far from us in Lockport, along with another one in Romeoville. That they're close proximity, which just helps bring more people to the area because there's more places to go. With like I said, Tingle Roots is right across the street from us.
Yeah.
Not too far from us is like Workforce. And then Joliet's not too far. There's a lot of restaurants there with some good craft beer options. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's a nice spot to be that does have a decent draw. It usually can surprise like new people to the area, but when they come, they're usually pleasantly surprised. So
Yeah. Oh, that's
yeah.
pretty good. Yeah, so how would you like if someone were to come on a tour of like the area, are there any breweries that they should hit along with yours if they were to try like you mentioned it was kind of like a destination sometimes in a way.
Yeah, workforce being maybe 10 minutes from us. Um, that's always a good stop. And is it Open Bottle is close by,
Mhm.
which bottle shop with a little tap room as well. So yeah, there's quite a few spots that are pretty close by for people to hop around.
Gotcha.
So,
Awesome. Yeah, that's always fun is going on a little tour and trying out all the different spots in the town.
yeah.
Um, what's coming up that people should be excited for?
Um, New beers coming out, and then like I said, the like Lake Life coming soon.
Yeah.
We'll be brewing that before we know it, but we try to always have something new on and something to draw people in. Uh, so yeah, the changing our menu, try to make it so that every time you come, there's something new to try.
Hmm.
Batch sizes aren't incredibly large, so it helps with rotation and changing the beer over.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's try to make it so that there's something new every time someone visits.
Hmm.
So
That keeps it exciting.
yeah,
That's one of the advantages there.
yeah.
Um, so kind of getting into some of the closing questions here. If someone could only try three things at your brewery, what would you recommend?
Beer.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah. So Dellwood, I would say, that being our like flagship IPA. I'm pretty proud of where that one's at right now. Um, any of our lagers, right now we have a dark lager on. I'm kind of taking some pride in producing, I feel some good lager beers. So and right now the dark lager is tasting really good. That's my go-to recommendation. So that one, but if it's a month or two from now and that's gone, whatever other lager we have at the time would be my recommendation. Um, and third one, we do some barrel aged stouts, so we don't have a ton of space, but we usually for our anniversary we always have a barrel aged stout with some flavor variants on it. So I'd recommend one of those if available, because it does run out, doesn't last forever. So
Yeah, definitely some good variety there. Good
yeah,
answers. Yeah, I'd love to stop by and try some of that sometime. So that's one of the reasons I'm asking. I gotta make it out there again.
yeah.
What's the best way for people to stay connected with what you're doing?
Following on any of the social media, um, we update pretty often on there. We're trying to build up a bigger presence with more video content, and we've been talking about doing more behind the scenes type stuff. So
Mhm.
we're look out for that. If you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, we try to keep things what's going on, what events we have coming up on there.
Awesome. All
Yeah.
right. And then any final thoughts or messages for people who might be considering a visit?
Uh, yeah, just come check us out. It's a nice spot. It's a really comfortable, like cozy atmosphere. We have pinball machines as well if you're
Awesome.
into pinball. So that's always fun to play a couple games of that.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's pretty cool. Is pinball a common thing among breweries? I've been talking to some of them that
yeah,
have it.
it's become I think it's become pretty popular in the places that can work it in with their brewery. I know
Mhm.
there's quite a few that have gotten in on them. We work with a company that they own it, so he'll swap out the machines, and so they kind of keeps them up to date, or make changes. And it's fun. There's like a scanner on them, so use leaderboards and all
Yeah.
sorts of fun stuff with that. So yeah, it's become kind of a fun thing to have in breweries. There's a handful of them around here. Also, the Stern Pinball is based out of like the northern suburbs, so they are a semi-local company. So
Oh, cool. Yeah,
so that's probably why it's popular in the Chicago area
gotcha.
specifically.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was gonna say because it kind of stuck out to me. I was like, man, a lot of or a few brewers have been mentioning pinball. It's like worth worth asking.
yeah,
But yeah, no, that makes sense. So thank you, Chad, so much for your time and for being on the podcast with us today.
yeah, yeah. Thanks for having me.
Alrighty, guys, that's going to do it for today. Be sure to check out some of our other exclusive interviews with the people from the best breweries in the Midwest. Bye now.